Welcome to the Liberated Feminine Podcast. I'm Lucy Lampy, your host, and in today's episode, I am pleading with you, baby girl. Sis, stop begging, stop chasing, stop forcing. I want to immediately take this a little deeper. Why do we beg? Why do we chase? Sure, we have, maybe attachment wounds, anxious attachment, a need to be validated because of our wounds. But I also want to introduce this concept here, that when you beg and chase, let's say after a man, or to be chosen by a partner, what that really is a form of self-protection. So we can appreciate this part of you that wants to keep you safe. So we're not villainizing that, we're not diminishing that or putting that down, but we are just calling it out and calling it forth. That's ultimately what's really happening, is that there's a part of you that feels like she needs to beg and chase and force, because if she doesn't, she's not going to get what she needs. And so even deeper than that, we'll take it even deeper. This is a reflection of your trust in the universe, your trust in God, source, love. It's a reflection of your trust in yourself. And I want to explore this from these multi-layered perspectives, right? So that you can not only stop the behavior of begging and chasing, but actually feel free from the need to, which is different than just tackling the symptom, the surface symptom. Now let's start from the top layer on things that you can immediately stop or start doing. Number one, stop making yourself so available. I'm not talking about playing games or playing hard to get, but have a life, have other interests, other relationships, sisterhood, friendships, projects, whatever it is that nourishes you outside of the relationship, so that you are not fixated on, when is he going to text me? When is he going to ask me out? What are our plans for tonight? And listen, I have worked through this a lot, and I still notice this coming up in myself. It's like, oh, you want to do this at this time? Okay, yeah. Let me push back my thing. No. If this is something that's important to you, if it's nourishing to you, if it nurtures your heart, prioritize it. And this is not, we're not taking this to the other extreme of like, well, forget you, man, because my needs are more important than yours. It's not about that. It's about collaboration. But you can't be a truly collaborative partner in a partnership if you are not even clear on what you need and what nourishes you, and you're not invested in yourself. Another thing that I would say start doing is more of what nourishes you. So I know this is there's an overlap here between number one and number two, but more specifically, what is it that you've been wanting to try? What is it that you've been wanting to get into? Or maybe just something that's calling to your soul. Maybe it's something you want to study, something you want to go deeper into spiritually, some skill you want to master more or just become proficient at. But you've been afraid that if you devote yourself to that it's going to take away from the relationship, and that then you won't be able to be as available. And so these are things that there's so much nuance in that. Like, you've got to be so just open to being shown and being reflected back the ways that you are still not choosing yourself. And you've got to be open to being reflected back the ways that you are displaying that pick-me behavior. Again, out of self-protection. Because in the past, perhaps you've only experienced your needs being met if you are, if you're really adamant about it, if you're adamant or even pushy about your needs. And again, this is something I am personally still working through the layers. Oh my God, there are so many layers. Because it requires such strength, such courage, and such vulnerability to make your requests known, make your needs known communicate them, right? Not bark demands, but communicate your needs from your heart. And then to trust that you will be taken care of one way or another. So let's say that you are transitioning from begging and chasing for attention and love and to be chosen by a man. And let's say you are in relationship, or maybe you're just exploring this new connection, and you start to notice this pattern in yourself of like, okay, I feel like I keep asking for the same thing over and over again. And the more that I ask, the more it pushes him away. And this is actually the nature of how feminine and masculine energy works, right? Whether it's within ourselves or with a partner who is more in that masculine embodiment. The masculine doesn't want to be caged in. It doesn't want to be told what to do. And the more that we're like, this, do you see this? Do you see me? I need this. He feels trapped. He feels obligated. And he will either force himself to do something that his heart is not really in on, and you will feel that, and that will create resentment and disconnection, or he will be firm on, no, I don't have the capacity for that. I'm not available for that. I need to ground into who I am before I can offer you that. And so what will happen? If you make your needs known, you let your heart be seen, and then you wait. You trust. It's not that you're necessarily putting all of your trust in this man to then meet the needs of your heart, but you are trusting in something much bigger. You are trusting that this person that you're in relationship with will either expand in their capacity to meet your needs from a genuine place, or the universe will expedite the path, expedite the process to clear that out of your life so that you can align with a relationship and an experience of love that can provide what you're actually needing. Because I'm going to tell you something. The truth is, in this context, for example, one man's burden of responsibility is another man's privilege and pleasure and honor to provide. This doesn't mean that it will come with no effort, but it will come without this kind of forcing himself to be something that he is not. Now, another piece to this, stopping begging and chasing, is to, let's see, what are the best words to communicate this piece? To be open to the parts of yourself that you have not met yet. There is so much within us that we do not access until the environment, the relationship, the season, the circumstance presents it to us and calls that part of us forth. So another piece to this, that on a deeper layer will set you free from this need, this like eating away at you feeling of, I need to beg, I need to chase, I need to be the one to initiate, when deep down you actually don't want to be the one to initiate. You want to be initiated too. You want to be invited. And that is the nature of that whole feminine masculine dance, right? So if you want to experience more of that, this is another piece, is be open to the parts of yourself that you haven't met yet. In complete vulnerability, the part of myself that I have been meeting toe to toe in the most uncomfortable moments of this pregnancy that I'm in right now, I'm 7 months pregnant currently, has been the part of me that wants to abandon ship because she's afraid of abandoning herself again. And I feel in my body the difference between that reactive feeling that makes me want to abandon my vision for my life, abandon what I'm really devoted to, because she's afraid of repeating the past. Because if something even remotely familiar comes up, she's like, oh, I sniff that out. Danger, danger, danger. Get out before you get got again. And so if that's you too, I just want to encourage you to really be deeply present with that part of yourself that maybe you're aware of, but you haven't really met her yet. And you need to listen to her and see, what is it that you're most afraid of? And reassure her. For me, it's looked like, listen, I know you're scared. To this version of me, I know that you're afraid. I know that, you're scared of abandoning yourself again. You're scared that you're going to spend years in a certain season instead of weeks. And then you'll look back and say, wow, what was that? And then I reassure her, but it's okay. We're safe. This is not that. And we don't need to repeat those behaviors, because actually repeating those behaviors is going to reinforce that reality actually becoming true. So you have a sovereignty in your choice in that moment. And now the thing to remember about these parts of yourself that you meet, the uncomfortable ones, right? The ones that push you to your edge, that make you want to run away, that make you want to go back to old unhealthy patterns, is that it's not about making them go away, right? It's not about fixing something. It's about softening. For me, if I can just soften her edges, her little spikes that she's like, I need to be prickly again and armor up because I feel like this is going to become unsafe, so that you can then discern from your deeper wisdom and not your anxiety or your fear whether this actually is a place that is safe and aligned for where you want to be, where you are meant to be. Because as long as you are in the energy of begging, chasing, forcing, it's going to be really difficult to attune to that part of you, that deeper wisdom, that deep knowing. Because that anxiety and fear and that voice that's, like in the freak out reactive mode is going to be so loud and feel so viscerally present in your body that it's going to be harder to tune in to the quieter voice of that deep inner knowing. And so soften. That is the key here. Now, you're also going to be meeting parts of yourself that are beautiful. It's not all going to be scary and shadows and, uncomfortable, ick, just be willing to be with those parts of yourself. That is the important thing here. And you're also going to meet parts of you that it's like, oh, I didn't know that I had this in me. I didn't know that I could be radiant in this way without getting XYZ. Because in the past, I've only been radiant in this way when I got XYZ. And so let yourself surprise yourself. Let the universe surprise you, introducing you to new parts of you, new aspects of you that are very welcome. So fundamentally, the deepest work in this, besides, just not being so overly available or overly accommodating or abandoning yourself and what nourishes you in order to accommodate someone else, descending deeper from that, meeting the parts of you that are just trying to protect you because you've been through some shit. Because you've been wounded, you've been hurt. Your body remembers these things, even if your mind has intellectually worked them out and you understand the wound. That's very different than processing the imprint that it makes in your body, in your nervous system, in your subconscious mind. So give yourself lots of patience and grace as more layers come up, because the last thing you need is to be judging yourself when you find that you are begging for love, or to be shaming yourself when you find that you are chasing someone instead of letting them approach you. So self-shaming is never, it's never productive. You can't shame yourself into loving yourself. You can't shame yourself into choosing yourself more fully. You just can't. And you can't shame your partner into loving you better either. So again, meeting these parts of yourself, softening those edges. And a lot of this too, I know I keep coming back to this because this has been such a powerful, indispensable part of my journey and something that I guide a lot of women through in my courses, my retreats, my upcoming book. And that is working with this powerful dark feminine energy to help you cut through the noise, purify those fears that your ego is, just, this is the only thing that's real, so that you can get down to the truth, to the deeper wisdom, so you can see more clearly and move forward with more clarity, more discernment. And for that, I invite you to check out my course, Dark Feminine Codes, to get started or perhaps to go deeper. If you're familiar with dark feminine energy or a few of the dark goddess archetypes, this is a space where you can go even deeper. And it is something that I will continue adding to in the months and years to come. One of those staple offerings that just really, really lights me up. And I'm so excited to share it with you. So check that out in the link that is in this description of this episode. And again, as always, feel free to share what is resonating with you, what is clicking for you, where is that aha moment, or just that something from your heart that you want to share. So feel free to leave your comment here on the video, or if you're listening on Spotify, or email me at support@thewildawakening.com. Otherwise, thank you for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, here's to liberating your wild feminine heart.